Hey everybody, Mike DiDonato here from Faema, Canada, and today we have a very special review, Jura's brand new C9. Let's start with some of the design elements on the all-new C9. The first thing you're going to notice, very striking, is the all-new colorway, Piano Inox. It's like a light pastel gray, and what they've done is high gloss on the front with a really nice matte all the way around the machine. Now this machine also comes in a piano black colorway, but because this is so special, we decided to show you this one. It has a 1.6 liter water tank, side loading, so for those of you with valence or height restrictions, you don't have to come all the way up. I love the design, a really wavy panel, obviously reminiscent of water, the sea, the ocean. You'll notice we have a clear smart filter in there as well. We also have our professional aroma grinder. The lid is on top, the grinder is located in the back. It has a really nice seal. It's going to preserve the beans and the freshness of the coffee. The hopper holds 200 grams. The grinder, very, very easy to use. So you have 7 different settings from intense to mild, and essentially what that does is it affects the coarseness or fineness of your coffee. I find, and I lean on the intense side, so basically finer. The finer you grind, the more you're going to extract from that coffee itself. Now with this grinder, it doesn't have that backspin option that some do to disengage itself. So what that means is if and when you do adjust the grinder, it's very important to do it while the machine is grinding. Think about it like this. If you have 2 burrs sitting there and you have beans in between, there's going to be resistance because the beans are going to make it harder for that to go closer, further, or accurately apart. If the machine's actually grinding, when you turn that, you're going to be removing that tension or resistance by crushing the beans and get accurately closer or finer. Why is it nice to have an adjustable grinder? Well, it gives you so many different options from a flavor profile and playing with your different beans and really finding what works best for you. Moving forward, you're going to notice our central spouts here. This component moves up and down really nicely to accommodate big and small cups. In addition, you're going to see I have 2 spouts here and 1 in the front. Why does this machine have 3 spouts and why is that important? Well, it is a one-touch machine. What that means is it can do your milk drinks, specialty drinks like cortado, cappuccino, latte, all in one touch and all through this central spout. No guessing where to put the cup, really no work involved. It is the perfect home barista. 2 spouts dedicated to coffee, 1 to milk. Very easy, very, very user-friendly. This machine can prepare up to 17 different drinks. And let's talk about some of the key technologies with this machine. Key features and standard things you're going to find: pulse extraction process, i.e. PEP. Jura uses PEP to pulsate through the coffee when you're making espresso from 1/2 ounce to 2.5 ounces. What that essentially does is it pre-soaks your puck really nicely and gives you a very nice extraction because the pump will actually pulsate water through the coffee, pulling more through it. If you're going to make a coffee drink, so like a 6-ounce cup of coffee, the PEP will not be activated and it'll draw all the coffee through the water in a consistent mechanism. The pump will be very consistent all the way through. Moving forward, another key technology here, we have our intelligent preheating. What does that mean? Why is it important? With the Jura, what it does is it actually pre-senses the internal mechanisms. And if the machine hasn't made a coffee in an extended period of time, it'll flush water through itself directly into the tray to ensure that every cup, first, last, anything in between, will always come out at a very consistent hot temperature and there's no waste. This machine also incorporates a 2.8-inch full color screen. I really love that. It paints a picture for you and it makes operation seamless for anybody. Now, what you'll notice is I have 4 buttons on either side, very tactile, very easy to use. I really like having buttons. That's a personal preference. Now, with that screen, I can control everything. So the intensity, up to 10 different intensity levels. Whether I'm doing espresso, cappuccino, you have that option for every single drink you're going to prepare. Let's talk about a new feature, new innovation, unique to the C9 for now. It's going to be rolled out eventually. Worlds of indulgence, Jura has added a light brew mode. What is light brew? Essentially what it does is it'll actually brew your coffee at a lower temperature, which completely changes, 1, the flavor profile, because different coffees are extracted under different heats, give you different flavors. If you were to try a coffee under the light brew mode versus the classic brew mode, which is like your standard temperature, the high temperature, completely different. And it's very interesting to see how coffees kind of react to that. In addition, from a speediness standpoint, if you're the type of person that wants to drink their coffee right away and not kind of wait, it's hot and enjoy it, indulge, you do that light brew mode, you can drink it right away, which if you're looking for a quick shot, fantastic. Now you can actually preset this machine to always be on light brew mode. So if you love that, it can be your basically default setting. So again, Jura's giving you so much flexibility to really play with your coffee, find what you like and try different things. And that's why I really love these machines. You can try any beans you want, intensities, grinder settings, light brew, regular brew, purely up to you. You don't really need to understand the science behind coffee out of temp, grinder yet. The machine does everything for you. And that's why I really love Jura in general. Let's make some coffee. My signature test, always the espresso. So let's start with that. I'm gonna grab a cup here from my cup warmer. I'm gonna find that option on the screen, lower my spout, hit espresso. Now what you're gonna notice is right away you have your strength settings. You have 10 options. I have the options to make 2 at a time. So if I were to do that, it'd be a cup and a cup. But right now we're gonna try 1. My espresso is set to 1.5 ounces. That's how I like it. You have a nice little bar here that's gonna kind of show you where you are in the process. And you'll see this little X. And what the X does is if at any time I want to stop this process, like let's say I'm like, oh, that's perfect, automatically the machine will stop. So let's look at this espresso here. Hot, very hot, really nice, like beautiful crema. The body looks great. The cascading is really nice. It's amazing. And I mean, that's what we've come to know, love, and expect from Jura. Great quality coffee. With this machine, I can make 1 or 2 espressos, 1 or 2 coffees. I can do all of those options in our light brew mode. I can do cortado, latte macchiato, cappuccino, flat white, and I can do milk foam. So for those of you who like hot chocolates, really great feature, especially if you have kids, get them into that, they're gonna love it. Let's try a milk drink. So to scroll through my options, there's an arrow here, I select it. I have cappuccino, latte macchiato, flat white, cortado, macchiato, and milk foam. Let's try a flat white. That's one of my favorite drinks. So I'm gonna grab my cup here, put it underneath, and select flat white. The way this machine works, which is really nice, is my cool control is holding my milk. Now, as I mentioned, the machine doesn't actually come with a cool control, but what it does come with is a 12-inch clear tube. Now, at home, you can literally take that tube and put it in anything that has milk, whether it's a carton, a bag for those of you in Ontario, a cup of milk. It will draw the cold milk through the spout, bring it to our steam one, heat it, steam it, froth it, put it right into the cup for us, and then stop. Now with this machine, you can use any milk you want. If you want almond milk, coconut, skim, homogenized, it's up to you. So now that my coffee's done, it's gonna begin doing my milk. And what you're gonna notice is milk is measured in time. So it says 14 seconds. Now some people are confused by that, like why is coffee ounces and volume and milk is time? The reason for that is, as I mentioned, you can use any milk you want, and the machine doesn't know what milk you're using. So you gotta find the right balance of what your milk is to what the time would be. So it's a very simple and easy thing to do. It just takes a little bit of R&D and playing with the machine. So there's my flat white, really nice. Like, I love that steam, I love that froth. Nice clean layer of foam. This is fantastic. So as I mentioned, we have 17 different drink options. You can really explore, play with them, and find the settings that are best for you, whether that's ratio of milk to coffee, grind setting, the intensity, so how much coffee you're grinding. It gives you the ultimate flexibility in playing with that. So now that we've done some of our classic drinks, some of my favorites that I'm biased towards, let's try that light brew setting. So what I'm gonna do, button on the bottom left, it's gonna tell me classic hot brew or light brew. I'm gonna select light brew. Now I know I'm in this mode automatically because the screen changes color. It's gonna be this really nice, like orangey, almost like the color of crema on an espresso. So now I'm in my light brew mode. I'm gonna grab my espresso cup here. I'm gonna put it down in the center, lower the spout, and we're gonna try this. As I mentioned, you're brewing coffee at a much lower temperature. And with that, the flavor and the profile of the coffee is gonna change so much. My coffee's pouring. I've set it to 1.5 ounces. You're gonna notice right away, the steam that we're used to getting coming off of the heat of these cups is non-existent. I can pick this up, I can palm it, I can hold it. It's just much, much lighter in temperature. So let's see. You notice the espresso, that was a sip, and I'm like, this is hot. Yeah, I can drink this entire thing, not burn my mouth. And it tastes different. It does taste different, which is super unique to me. I mean, you can really kind of play with and experiment with things here, which I think is so interesting. And different coffees will give you different profiles entirely. And the fact that you can now pull 2 profiles out of one single bean or blend is such a unique feature. And again, personal preference, coffee's subjective. There's no right or wrong. You gotta find what you like and dial in your machine to do that, because the flexibility here is unlimited. You really have full control over every aspect of your drink. To exit my light brew mode, really simply, I'm gonna click that again, go back to classic hot brew, and you'll notice my screen changes completely. It's now black. I know I'm doing hot brew, my traditional heat brewing method. Let's go through our menu and look at some of our programmable options on the unit. So to go into the menu, when I hit that same button on the bottom left, you're gonna notice 3 dots in the corner. From there, if I turn, my next option will be my cockpit. So I can click that and I have all my machine settings. This machine has Jura's pre-ground bypass, and with that, you can actually bypass your grinder and put pre-ground coffee into it and brew that on demand. So who's that useful for? If you have a household where you got a decaf drinker or a regular drinker, it really gives you the flexibility to do both. As long as your coffee is pre-ground, you can designate regular or decaf as your pre-ground and use powder mode. The next thing we have is world selection. My machine here is programmed to automatically be in the hot brew mode. If you want yours to automatically be in the light brew mode, you can set that right here. The next option we have is languages. So if you guys want to learn a different language, you can set it to Italian, Portuguese, there's a list of different languages you can play with there. Shut off after. So shut off after, essentially what that means is if no one touches the machine for X period of time, it will automatically turn itself off. Great for energy efficiency, right? So you can set it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes, really up to you. My next setting is water hardness and units. So water hardness, the machine actually will come with a strip that allows you to test the water hardness of the water you'll be using. So if you're using your tap water, you dip that stick in the tap water, and it will automatically give you a reading, and you can preset that to your machine. That's important because Jura gives you 2 options when it comes to water. You can either descale your machine, like traditional methods, or use a Clara Smart filter. I prefer the filters because, clean water in, clean coffee out. The next option you have here is units. Units basically means if you want your machine to be increased in increments of milliliters or in ounces. I lean to ounces because you're going to be changing by the ½ ounce increment, whereas in the milliliter section, that's 5 milliliters at a time. The next option we have is milk system rinsing. So the machine will automatically rinse the milk system. Jura has a container that you can plug the spout into with some hot water and tablets. It'll pull that through. Milk in general, right? If it sits, it gets ugly very fast. This machine will self-clean the frother for you. That way, any leftover milk or anything is cleaned out. You're always gonna have clean coffee. Empty system. So why is empty system important to have? Basically, the only time you would need to empty system is if you're gonna not use your machine for a prolonged period of time, or if you plan to travel in a very cold climate. So for example, let's say you need to bring your machine to our service center out in Mississauga, and it's wintertime. Some people will, I'm gonna unplug my machine, put it in the car, leave it overnight, the next morning I'll drive to the service center. The problem you have with that is the internal components will have water inside of them. When water freezes, it's gonna crack and break more components internally. You should empty system if you're gonna travel or transport in cold climates, or if you're gonna not use the machine for a prolonged period of time. Product counter. I love the product counter. I know it's not the most important feature, but what it does is it tells you how much coffee you've made on your machine. So on my machine at home, I'm up to in the teens of thousands, 15,000 cups. I've seen machines get 90,000 plus. It's just a cool thing to look at and talk to your friends about. Yeah, I've made 30,000 espressos. Just kind of a cool thing. Maintenance counter, so that'll actually count all your maintenance cycles as well. And then finally, version, which will tell you the software version of the machine and factory settings. If you ever want to wipe it, bring it back to 0, whatever the factory came set at, you can easily do that. Now to exit the menu, there's an X here. I simply click it again, and I'm out of my menu now. So let's talk a bit about programming my drinks. As I mentioned, on the fly, you can always increase, decrease, and change your drinks, and that will not change your program. However, if you do make a change, at the end of that drink, it will ask you if you want to save that. So you can visually program that way, or if you really want to get technical on any of the drinks, let's say our cappuccino. If we push and hold, eventually it brings us to the programming of that specific cup. So I can go product settings, I can choose the coffee strength for every time. So let's say I want the 10 bean increment of the strongest setting, the volume of coffee, how much milk I'm going to get, so the timing of the milk, and the temperature. So really easy to do and very quick to program. The other option when you get here is change position. So essentially you'll notice there are 4 different screens of drink options that I can scroll through. And the reason change position is there is you can actually customize your machine. So in my household, we drink a lot of flat whites and espresso. So I would make that my first 2 pictures on my home screen. You don't have to, it's up to you, but it's a nice feature because you'll know, hey, I want to have my priority drinks in the front. I don't want to have to scroll through every time. I know what I drink, I know what I like, and you can do that. So now that we've talked about our drinks, programming, tried some coffee, let's talk about some of the externals and how those work. So the machine is very smart. It'll actually tell you, hey, once you've made a certain amount of coffee, it's time to empty the tray. To do that, lift your spout up, tray comes out like this. Coffee grounds are caught here. Now these machines are fully sustainable. There's no waste, no aluminum, no plastic. Coffee grounds right into your compost, into your garden, whatever you'd like to do. Tray simply goes right back in and it'll really show you, hey, tray's not in, arrow shows it on the screen. As soon as you put it in, ready to go. Now this, I really like. Magnetic, pops right off to put it back on. Why is that important? Well, this is your milk foamer and it comes out really simply. This guy here is what gets cleaned during your milk cleaning cycle. I also recommend taking it apart, so really easy, just a few components. Rinse it in your sink, put it back together. It slides right into place, super easy, and then you're done. Now the final thing is our pre-ground bypass. So on the top, really nice, seamlessly integrated, opens like that. You would add your powder, go into your powder menu, let it know you're making powder. Now with that, the machine comes with a pre-measured scoop. Your max would be 2 full scoops to the top. You'll want to dust that off to make sure it's 2. If you're doing a single coffee, I would say do 1 scoop. And a really nice funnel that fits in there, very ergonomic. Again, design, really critical component, as well as functionality. Jura thinks about everything when they're designing these machines. Final thoughts on the C9. First of all, the color I think is incredible. I think it would fit into any kitchen. From a size perspective, it's very compact, which is really nice. The fact that it has that brewing unit gives you the ability to make 2 coffee drinks at a time, espresso, coffee, really, really great. Love that feature. The one-touch milk drinks, spectacular. And the light brew mode, I think is super cool. The fact that you can pull 2 different flavor profiles from one bean, just by playing with that is fantastic. I really love this machine. I would highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out our website, faema.ca, for more information on the C9. Check out our Instagram for some fun and cool content at Faema_Canada, and come to one of our showrooms and try the machine in person. Nothing beats first-hand experience. Have a great day.